What's up, guys? Welcome to another video from Chasing Sound. My name is Brian, and today we are going to talk about 4 essential chords that you need to learn. We're talking about open chords today. It's some of the first chords that you will ever learn as a guitar player, so I thought, why not make a video for that? Go back to basics, teach these 4 chords and why they're important, and then talk a little bit about what chords you might be going on to next after this. So we're going to talk about 4 chords today. They're the D, A, E, and G. So first thing we're going to start off with is E major. What you do is you take your fretting hand, middle finger, and place it on the 2nd fret of the 5th string. And then you take your ring finger, place it right under that on the 2nd fret of the D string. And then finally, you take your index finger and place it on the 1st fret of the G string. Why am I teaching this chord first? Really because it's a great strumming chord, and the reason that is because you're using the entire neck. You're using the entire, all 6 strings to play it, really. So you're using the low E all the way up to the high E. So with your middle and ring fingers on the 2nd fret of both the A strings and the D string, then your index on the 1st fret of the G, you could just strum that along. That's E major. And the cool thing about that is, if you want to make it minor, you just take your 1st finger off, and that's E minor. So you can see the difference there between the sadder minor chord and the happier major chord. Pretty cool. That is E major and E minor. Really cool chord. So you'll see that in zillions of songs, which is why I thought it's so important to teach first. That is an open chord. The next chord we're going to talk about is the G major chord. So for that, you're going to take your middle finger and go to the 3rd fret of the low E string, which is a G, and then take your index and you're going to place it on the 2nd fret of the 5th string. And then you're going to take your ring finger and place it on the 3rd fret of the high E, which is the octave. And this is another open strummer. That is a G major, and the thing I want to teach you here is, with the E major, it was not so hard to mute strings, but you want to make sure that each string is ringing out. So with this G major, what I suggest you do, so you know that you're getting all the strings, is to arpeggiate the chord. That's one of the easiest ways to know that you're getting all the strings. Every once in a while, even my own fingers get a little lazy and they want to kind of slouch down, and what will happen is the pads of your fingers will mute the other strings, but in a chord like G, you don't want that to happen. So that's one way to do it, and you can also make cool arpeggio patterns. One other change to this G chord is that some people like to add this high D to it. So what you'll do there is you'll take your ring finger and you'll make a mini bar. So on these 2 notes, so rather than have that be an open B, you'll do a little bar there. And that's another way to play an open G. A lot of people will do it that way. So that was E, and we also went over G. We got 2 more chords we're going to work on. The next one I want to work on is D. The reason I wanted to focus on this one is because you start from the 4th string down, which is an open D, and then you have your index finger on the 2nd fret of the G, your ring finger on the 3rd fret of the B string, and then your middle finger on the 2nd fret of the high E. The thing about this is you want to make sure that you only hit from the D string down, because that's all the notes you want to play. For this, you might want to keep an eye on your right hand. But after time, after you keep playing it, it'll become like second nature where you won't even hit that low A or low E string. And again, this shape, sometimes leads to strings being muted. Make sure your fingers have a good arch. And that you're getting all the notes clear and ringing out clear. Speaking of, chords that sometimes get muted, we're going to finish up with the A major chord. So the first thing is, if you remember that E major shape, if you move that up a string set or down on the neck to the next set of strings and you play from the A, you also know A minor. So E major, A minor. But I wanted to go over A major. So what you'll do is, it's very simple. You'll have your first, second, and third fingers on your fretting hand, and they will go on the second fret of the D, G, and B strings. So you're going to play from the A string down all the way up to the top E. And that is A major. You don't hit the low E string on there. One other little hack I'll show you is that if you don't mind leaving out the high E, sometimes you can take a one finger bar and just play second fret where your three fingers were. Sometimes this is better if you're going back between G and A. For me personally, it's hard to hit that high E, keep it open when I'm doing this one finger bar. It kind of gets muted there, so you'll hear the A all the way down to that B string, and you won't hear that high E. If that's cool with you, go for it. Otherwise, just use your three fingers, and then you'll get that high E. So these are 4 open chords you should know. Obviously, there are other open chords like C and F and other chords, but I think these are good ones to start with because you can play so many songs with just these chords. The next chords that people usually go to, from an open G, are something like a G power chord. So when you're just playing the root and the fifth, and then you're going to go into a full G major bar chord or G minor bar chord, where you have your first finger down, barring the whole first third fret all the way down, and then adding the other fingers whether you want major or minor. So I say start with the open chords first, then go into power chords if you want to learn songs really quick, because it's really gratifying to be able to play those power chords and just move up the neck. And then move on to bar chords, and then other chords advance from there. One thing I'll mention is when you're practicing this stuff, try to leave distortion off. Work with just a clean sound, probably not any reverb or delay, so you can hear if you're making any mistakes. If you hear that you're getting all the notes out. You want to make sure that distortion or delay or reverb or another effect is not covering that up. If you want to learn anything else, feel free to email me or leave a comment below. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, I would love if you could subscribe. Chasing Sound is new here on YouTube. It's been doing this for the past couple of months or so, and I would love if you subscribe. Let me know what you want to learn, and I will try and make a video for you guys. Until next time, thanks for watching.